who is the GOAT. I think if you look at Jon Jones' early career, right? Jon Jones wins the title in 2011, and from then on has fought more fights as championship fights than he has other fights. So he's the most accomplished.
Two dominant champions on a collision course, but one claims he does nothing for me. When debating the MMA GOAT, Jon Jones' record stands apart, winning the UFC title in 2011 and amassing more championship fights than non-title bouts. His dominance is unquestionable, yet when asked about Tom Aspinall, Jones dismissively repeats, "He does nothing for me."
I guess the clarifying question then is, if Dana and Hunter do come to you after this fight, the figures make sense to you, would you then be open to fighting Tom Aspinall, or are you categorically thinking, he does nothing for me, I will not fight that guy?
He does nothing for me. He does nothing for me. If you're a person that wants to see me really challenged, then I get it. 7 years younger, like 35 pounds bigger than me.
Despite Aspinall being 7 years younger and 35 pounds heavier, Jones seems determined to avoid this challenge. Want to see if Jones will finally face his biggest threat. Hit subscribe now and turn on notifications to catch all the latest updates on this explosive heavyweight showdown. Dana White drops a bombshell update on the Jones versus Aspinall mega fight. UFC heavyweight champion Jon Jones has kept fans guessing about his future after knocking out 42-year-old Stipe Miocic last November. Jones insists he's only interested in legacy bouts, not new challengers.
And you were talking about Tom and Jon. Tom released that video blog a few days ago on the train where he was saying like Jon's side is holding up the fight. What is he referring to there?
Well, I think that, listen, Jon Jones definitely wants to fight. Just when and where is what we're working on now.
Do you feel confidence? I think you said Jon.
I'm very confident
Summer on first
that fight happens. Yeah.
Summer?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Aspinall released a video claiming Jones is deliberately holding up their fight. When asked about this, Dana White clarified Jon Jones definitely wants the fight. Just when and where is what we're working on now. The UFC president sounds confident, suggesting the summer as a potential timeline. The undisputed next challenger for Jon Jones is British interim champion Tom Aspinall, who has demolished everyone in his path. Experts can't stop praising him.
Aspinall, like that he's something special. He really is something special. He's a very unusual example. Because he's a heavyweight, and he's a big guy, really big guy, but he moves so fast, like extraordinary compared to other heavyweights. Like, he just moves in. It's all like fast, explosive movements. So he's got natural speed, but then he's also got a lot of training to execute quickly. So when he moves in, he closes the gap. You can see, like, he's fast.
What makes him unique? Despite being a heavyweight, he moves with extraordinary speed. He's a big guy, really big guy, but moves so fast compared to other heavyweights. It's all fast, explosive movements.
This is Tom Aspinall.
Yeah.
Tom Aspinall fights Pavlich and takes that fight on 2 weeks' notice and becomes the interim champion.
That is
also,
crazy.
though, he's a heavyweight. He doesn't have to cut
Yeah, that's
weight.
what I'm just going to say. The bigger guys, I think, it's not quite the same.
He's not quite the same. Doesn't have to cut weight, which is a giant factor, so he doesn't have to do massive amounts of cardio, and he could literally just let his body heal.
Combining natural athleticism with technical execution, Aspinall closes distance with lightning speed that heavyweights simply aren't prepared for. Tom Aspinall has announced everything is set for his fight with Jon Jones. Meanwhile, Chael Sonnen defends Jones against accusations of avoiding the fight. Sonnen argues that Jones's public negotiation tactics don't mean he's not serious. Just because Jones threw out big numbers like $30 million or $50 million doesn't mean he's delaying the fight. Sonnen has always believed Jones will accept once the UFC officially books a venue and date. Sonnen explains the complex negotiation process behind massive UFC fights.
We had Jon doing exactly what he was in the right and in the confines to do. Then you play the venue game, play the date game, talk to everybody and make sure they're healthy and happy and square it up with the commission. And I mean, there's a lot of steps that you get to. Then you make those damn phone calls. And Tom Aspinall has come out and said it's done. They've come to terms.
Now Aspinall claims terms have been agreed upon. The conversation shifts to Alex Pereira, potentially moving to heavyweight, which Sonnen sees as a strategic chess piece for the UFC. If we couldn't get Jones and Aspinall done, what do? You call Cyril game. You put Cyril with Aspinall.
Like, if we couldn't get Jones and Aspinall done, what are you going to do? Well, what are you going to do? How do you solve that problem? You call Cyril? And what do? You put Surreal with Aspinall? I mean, do you? That would do something, but I'm just saying, do you feel the difference? And that's where it would be so helpful to have Pereira at heavyweight, just purely as a bargaining chip if needed.
Sonnen believes fighter movement between weight classes dramatically impacts matchmaking. If Aspinall has been informed correctly, it would change my opinion completely. He argues Pereira's value at 205 pounds is his most important asset. Pereira versus Aspinall is not as powerful as Pereira being a substitute.
If this information is right, if Aspinall has been informed correctly, it would change my opinion. And I quickly would jump right on board with Pereira Ankalaev rematch. If we're keeping Pereira in the weight class of 205, you got to give him the rematch. You could justify not if you take him out of the damn weight class, but this changes things, right? I mean, that piece on the board was the most valuable thing that Pereira had. Pereira versus Aspinall is not as powerful as Pereira being a substitute to take on Aspinall.
Since debuting in the UFC in 2020, Aspinall has dominated at heavyweight, with most wins coming by first-round finish. Initially, the UFC seemed more interested in pushing Russian bruiser Sergey Pavlovich, even making him the backup for Jones's planned fight with Miocic. Joe Rogan can't contain his excitement when discussing Aspinall's exceptional abilities. He moves like a middleweight despite being a heavyweight. Rogan emphasizes highlighting this rare quality in the division. Aspinall's path to the interim title came through a short-notice victory over Pavlovich. Unlike smaller weight classes, heavyweights don't have the added stress of weight cutting. He doesn't have to do massive amounts of cardio and could literally just let his body heal. This advantage gives Aspinall more time to focus on skills and recovery. Rogan believes Aspinall's speed, athleticism, and well-rounded skills could pose a serious challenge to Jones. Despite Jones's legendary experience, fight IQ, and dominance, Aspinall has the tools to make it a real fight. Until now, Jones has repeatedly refused UFC's attempts to set up this title unification bout, making his disinterest in fighting the much younger, heavier Brit known on many occasions. But according to Dana White, Jones has finally given the green light to step into the cage with Aspinall. The next priority, sorting out the logistics. There's a strong case that Jon Jones is MMA's greatest fighter ever. He became UFC's youngest champion at just 23, beating Shogun Rua for the light heavyweight title in 2011. The potential showdown between Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones is shaping up to be one of the biggest fights in UFC history. On one side, you have Jon Jones, a legendary fighter with unmatched fight IQ, experience, and dominance. On the other, Tom Aspinall, a rising heavyweight star with incredible speed, power, and a modern skill set that could pose the most serious threat to Jones's reign. Will Aspinall become the new champion, or will Jones once again prove why he's considered one of the greatest of all time? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this epic heavyweight clash.